Hi everyone, here's the Bookchemist once again. Today I'm reviewing Emerald City by Birnbaum, a novel that was sent to me by the good people at Dead Rabbit Books, the independent publishing house that brought out the novel. Emerald City is a novel that revolves around a few characters and around a few very specific, very distinct worlds, microcosms almost in contemporary American life. It gives readers beautiful insight into the world of college basketball. That I think is what I think about as the main setting of the novel. In this sense, it made me think a bit of novels such as The Art of Fielding by Chad Harbeck. It talks about that world, about the way your life becomes scheduled and becomes planned by your investment in this kind of reality, and another book about people playing sports and living for those sports might jump to your head. More about that in a second. Emerald City also talks about being the offspring of deaf parents and communicating with them and interacting with them. And it talks about this reality in ways that are illuminating, and its very style of writing, the very interactions between the characters really reflect what it means to have to interact daily with people with different abilities than yours, how this shapes your interaction with them, how society perceives them differently from normal people, and how this changes the way these people behave. On those fronts, Emerald City is enlightening, as it is when it talks about the conundrums and the dilemmas and the pains of being a white kid among among people from minorities, the dilemmas of coming from a privileged background and living with kids who don't have those same opportunities, and the way this changes your perception of yourself, the way it influences human interactions. The book talks about these stressed interactions, these tense moments where you just want to be yourself and interact with your peers and just can't, in a very effective, very powerful way that reminded me, just as the sport element, a lot of Infinite Jest. Emerald City feels to me a lot like a work of fan fiction and a work of an admiring fan of David Foster Wallace. You do perceive that tension, that wish to bring together these desperate worlds, to make a point about the state of the world we live in, what it means to be a person in contemporary society, what it means to interact with the many contradictions and complexities of society. If you are a Wallace fan, I would absolutely recommend you check out the novel, and there's going to be links in the description box if you're interested in reading more about the book. I personally have to confess, wasn't enamored with Emerald City. The problem I had with it, and it pains me to say this, and I do encourage you, if you're interested in the themes I discussed and in the elements I've given you, I do encourage you to make up your own mind. I wasn't in love with Brian's writing. He is incredibly talented. He has a range of lexicon that's admirable, but I did feel like the writing was a tiny bit artificial. Very often a point that could be made in a few words is expanded into these long sentences that are not really flowery, are not beautiful or baroque, they are complex. And I'm not necessarily a fan of this kind of complexity, which is in a way the same complexity you find in David Foster Wallace. I sometimes wished Brian would rein in his obvious and incredible language skills and literary dexterity and tried to make things simpler and more straightforward. I also have to admit that I wasn't as enamored by the most thrilling parts of the book. This is also a book about the seedy underbelly of a few places in the United States, including Seattle. I wasn't as impressed with the crime novel thriller sections of the book as I was with those sections focusing on the inner conflicts of the main character and on the world of college basketball. It's wrong to split up books this way, it's messed up. I'm just pointing at some areas where I was more impressed by the author's writing than in others. And once more, I would encourage you to check out a little bit about Emerald City if you might be interested in these elements I've given you, and I wanted to thank the good people at Dead Rabbit Books once more for giving me this opportunity. I absolutely look forward to reading Brian Birnbaum's second book. Thank you as always for watching the video, guys. Let me know if you choose to read the book. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. If you've heard about it, by all means do let me know. And thank you as always for watching. Bye, guys.